Is NetNazgul, and today I'm going to cover some 2v2 tournament matches for the OpenRA team tournament started by Abrat. And today is the day a lot of sorry, a lot of people, a lot of players in that tournament actually participating in their games. So teams like Smithy and Barf, Gatekeeper and Yunano, Eskimo and Mo, and someone else who are participating in that tournament. I hope Kazu and Worry will be there as well. So we are up today for a big chunk of 2v2 action, which is quite rare around these days, especially the tournament quality games. And I'm hopeful we will see a lot of those today. Let's just hope my stream will cope with enough quality of the incoming tournament, as last time I had some issues with streaming. So if you notice any drops and stutters on the stream, let me know in chat, and at least I can lower the quality running through the stream. So it will be more shittier, but it will be probably better than no video at all. I have some pretty nasty lag here with the mouse, and I don't really see what the issue is. Well, at least OBS shows its 0 drop frame, so I'll be restarting this game. Because I have some bad issues with the cursor and overall performance. Hopefully we will see it a bit better now. Let's see. Oh yeah, now it's better, only with I need to move it somewhat down. Okay. Yeah, that looks yeah, that looked better before I've closed it again. But at least mouse is smooth. Okay, where were we? We are here. Hello, Lundis. And no, I think it should be okay right now because I was using that tool I've shown you yesterday, the Windows borderless gaming, but somehow it works shitty with hardware cursor, and when I switch to software, it lags the game horribly. So now I've switched to basically I've disabled it and switched back to hardware cursor. So probably, well, at least I see that my cursor is okay and the whole smoothness of the stream is okay. So well, at least we need to see at least one match to see if it's running okay. Anyway, I think you can jump in on Discord. I'm muted my mic there, but if I hear anyone, I can hook that up in Discord on the stream. Yeah, I would be glad if we can run some test game to see how it performs for my stream right now. Yeah, I could have asked about team names, but actually I know team names. I think I can look it up. So it's Avengers. Against okay, against the American team of this one. Or we can have some Raggle games running as performance test. Only the main problem will be that both Barf and NGO are usually on, let's say, not perfect connection among the players around. Especially NGO, who is so far away in Australia, around Brisbane, I think. And also, if I remembered correctly, he has something like satellite internet, so that has some problems with latency. But still, he has decent internet performance when running on Australian servers. And about my microphone, I don't think I can level it up too much because it's around it's somewhere around its most tolerable gain. So if I tune the volume up more than that, it just becomes a bit more overdriven, and that sounds not really pretty, I think, because I've tried to record it and listen it, and I don't like how it sounds. So if it's possible for you on your side to add up volume on Twitch, then that would be okay. So still, I think my volume is still better than So Scared's, as he likes to run it rather quietly, so you need to tune the volume up all the way up to 100% on Twitch. I don't know what's status on your volume on my stream, but I think it's a bit less than that, as far as I remember. And Andrew's using some Russian obscenities in chat. Ah, yeah, I can lower music down a bit just to have it on a far background. Yeah, I'm in process of drinking beer and eating at the same time, so I can be a little quiet sometimes, or silent. That just means I'm busy with other things than talking. And that is a huge spec train, so I suppose a lot of those guys will need to be kicked out of the stream, of the server. Because I don't think Barf's or Angel's connection, or gatekeepers to that matter, will survive through this list of specs. Yeah, well, most spectators are watching live stream instead of specking in game. Also, all the kicked ones are only left to watch it on stream because they have no other option. There are still a lot of features that can be included uh, into the game. Spectators wise, and like the whole streamer caster experience, like UI is one of those things which is still to be properly included into the official version. There are beacons which are very close to be spectator beacons, very close to be included into the official version, but still need some work. And actually, if someone, well, I think that PR just needs to be worked on by people who understand how the inner engine works, because there are some one or two quirks left to fix for spectator beacons to be into the game, because they were made, but and they're working. They've tested them, but some code decisions made there are not perfect and need to be ironed out. But unfortunately, my code knowledge of OpenRA engine is lacking to do that stuff. Otherwise, I would be eager to fix that, but not this day. And actually, that's not in 2, but in okay, I think I'll stream some game. Just to see how it works and whether it works okay. Also tuning up my vocal cords to speak faster, because even when playing, I'm Always shitting up my first game of the day every time. So, same can be said about streaming as well. Like not being able to speak proper English. Well, I can run the second client, just not to miss the first, the actual tournament game, and I'll be watching this one, and we'll exit that one when this one happens. I don't know whether I can switch on stream. Between two windows. Let's try it like this. Yeah, I think it works. Hopefully it won't, the one of the windows won't lag the other. Yeah, I can switch between them. And also probably not to not the chat to ping every time. Maybe what? Here's the stream. Not to ping the chat every time. I would better turn the volume of one of the clients off, but I think it's better leave it running just not to miss it. I think we now have 2 lobby games instead of 2 actual matches, so that's what you are watching as well. Enjoy. Most of this is how Tiberian Dawn lobbies looked like several months before they went completely dead. Yeah, Lundis, I've switched back to Windows because something is not working okay for that tool running full screen from Windows mode. And I think we actually will have what?
Battle control
Someone
initialized.
start. Ah, okay. So we are watching this one. And while we're watching this one, there is another one going. I think Gatekeeper will choose some. Yeah, I can switch off the chat, but I don't want to miss the actual game. I think while Yunano is missing, Gatekeeper will have some other teammate and they will run like a 2v2 practice. So if that will start, I will just switch to it right away from this game. So I think I'll keep the engine running, like the chat sound. I hope it's not too annoying. Just not to miss the actual 2v2 going on. So, while that is brewing, we see an Orb against ZX Ganon matchup on the map called Face Off, which is in Raggle 5 map pool. And we already see the yeah, we already see the usual split for one refinery to War Factory against two refineries build orders. Yeah, and also don't forget that this is 90 seconds delay running on the stream just for the tournament. I decided not to run it on 180 or like 3 minutes like it's supposed to be for Raggle, but still left some delay for people to have because this is tournament anyway. So let's see how this one goes. Orb has managed to capture one oil derrick and run his NG away, and will now try to chip some rifles, which is one of frequent things he likes to do. Building flag, early flag, while almost everyone I think builds an APC just for a faster engineer movement. And we see that Orb doesn't run any APC, instead he builds a very fast MCV from 4 harvesters. And we already see the 2 War Factory, very early double War Factory from ZX Ganon. Okay, I will switch. Okay, this is the correct one. So I've switched off the volume for the background view, and we'll switch to it once this one runs into some stale, or that one will be interesting enough. And Yunana is still missing a bit. And actually I need to fix the tournament matchup, just not to confuse people around. Maybe I would just do this one. No. I'll do it like this. With the eyes, if you look very closely, you'll see that this tile and this tile, they're not the cliff enders actually, but just the cliffs. So here and here you need an actual cliff ender tile to properly end the sequence. Otherwise you have a small visual glitch of the tile not being ended and cut shadow on the right side. That was what I was trying to fix, but that requires a lot of changes. So let it just be the feature of this map. So well, that we already see ZX Ganon trying to utilize his double war factory early. As far as I remember, this is already 25% of building time for, or is it 8 13%? I don't really remember, but it's more significant than barracks because for 50% cut you need just 4 instead of 7 like you need for every production queue in the game, but for war factories you only need 4. That was introduced some time ago, and actually I need to lower my game sound a bit because I don't hear myself talking when there is so much going around. And we already see just 2 grenadiers destroying a power plant, and ZX Ganon was already a bit of low powered, but luckily that wasn't enough to throw him off. He just built a Tesla coil, but he managed to get away from low power, and he has one additional advanced power plant ready. And that push by Orb is, I think it's quite bad, because single Tesla coil, no heavy armor and infantry round, and 2v2 wrecking the whole infantry force here. At the same time we see that Rex Ganon's spare MCV gets sold, not destroyed. And I think we are soon ready to see 2v2 tournament actually going on. So probably I will switch to that in a minute. And for a while we can still see Orb playing against Ganon. And what I can say about Ganon is that he had double war factory, but he doesn't have any resources to back it up, and probably he's broke right now, yeah, because he has absolutely no expansions and one more expansion getting destroyed by Orb. So just by sheer assets we should see a huge bump by Orb in a minute if he survives this probably last push by ZX Ganon, because he has nothing else to play with. And Orp's already running the famous tank flank that he advertised not long ago on his YouTube channel that you can watch, and if someone provides a link to that, or actually I can do that, I think I can try and find that. Yeah, here it is. And Canon starting, oh not Canon, but Orb starting a series of videos with useful stuff. Okay, Barf pinning me in Discord. And we are switching, yeah, like that, like that. And I also need to get the sound back. Only that was a bit brutal from my side to say kick the specs, but that was a huge list of specs that needs to be run down a bit because connection issues. Hopefully I will hold the quality of the stream and show everything commencing in this very promising matchup between Team America, fuck yeah, consisting of Smithy and Barf, who are placed third and second respectively in last season of Red Alert Global League, which is 1v1 league. And against them play Gatekeeper and Yunana. Gatekeeper plays in fourth in the same league, and Yunana slowly rising up. Finishing, I think, second in his record division last season, and now running as good as first in minions as well. So highly likely that you will see Yunana in next season. Next season Masters League actually. Yeah, so if mainly for Andrew on chat, if anyone wants to join me and help me streaming or rather casting, then just join me on Discord and I will tell the guys to allow you speaking. I think it's better run this way. Yeah, and we are finally live. I don't remember correctly, but I think it's one of the first actual. Ah, no, we've streamed one game already with 5 faces the other day. That was between Christ and Zoch on one side, and Kazu and Lorry Driver on the other, and that was an absolute. Well, you can see for yourself on 5 faces cast. I think there are links around. So we can check that here is Gatekeeper and Yunana on the left, and here is Barf and Smithy on the right. And the map is a tournament island made by, I don't remember actually who's made by, but I do remember that it was introduced into official map pool by So Scared, I think. But I don't remember whether it was made by him. So what can we see right away? We can see that Yunana is a bit slow. Ah, right. There's some funny things that Yunana is actually not slow, but he has built a second barracks into Gatekeeper's base, which is an interesting move, so that they can build up a common army. But it would have been a nice gesture as well by Gatekeeper to build barracks on his teammate's side, but he missed that. And now we will probably see Yunana's engineer going down, and there is usual Barf Ranger, which you can frequently see around. And now, yeah, Yunana needs to switch his barracks to rifles probably, and he's building an ore truck, so he'll lose some oil derricks right away. Otherwise, everyone is his for, and there is a parallel push going on by combined force from Yunana and Gatekeeper, and then also a Gatekeeper move, moving his original MCV as well, which should be quite huge, but Yunana first needs to deal with the oil derrick situation. At the same time, we see that the combined force melts the defenses, but there are a lot of them built both by Smithy and by Barf, and they both have some money to build up defenses, but Barf's not. Yeah, he's building pillboxes, and that push allowed Gatekeeper to build his MCV here, but I don't think he will be able to sustain this anytime longer, because there are more defenses being built by Smithy and Barf somehow than by Yunana and Gatekeeper. But at least they got the barracks up, and unfortunately Barf is already at Hind and artillery tech, so Artist should melt any infantry force incoming. And I think it's pretty much grim for Hell's Avengers in face of Yunara and Gatekeeper here, because Gatekeeper is soon to lose his original MCV. Is it? Yeah. Yunara managed to get some old Dirks back, but the combined push is whittling away, and Gatekeeper has already lost his original MCV, and now he pretty much has nothing to battle with. So this push is over, and the game is quite fast, only under 6 minutes. Uh, Nothing compared to what we have seen in Lori and Kazu against Zosh and Craycrest in their best of 3. Yeah, so that was quite a bold move, but that doesn't really work as intended by Gatekeeper and Yunana. I think it's not really too easy to properly build up attacking base push by 2 players, because you never know where your teammate will place his defensive structures. At the same time, for defense side, it's a bit easier, because basically because there are more places to place defense structures and just more space to command the defenses. And I think, well, at least that combined barracks by Yunnan and Gatekeeper was an interesting move. Yeah, I see that Aberrat is streaming as well. Oh, wait. I see that Aberrat is streaming as well. So probably we can join forces and comment on the game side by side for different streams. Okay. Still, would have been fun running 2 parallel streams at the same time and commenting on each other's streams. Okay, Gatekeeper picking Climax, which is Whippy's map. So Whippy in chat should be cheerful. And this map is quite an asymmetric one, with players B and C being very close to each other and separated only by 2 cliffs and a gem mine. At the same time, that gem mine is nigh unreachable early game, because it only has 2 narrow passages from top and bottom, which are perfectly sniped by anything from above the cliffs, like Teslas, gun turrets, rocket soldiers even, and anything else that can shoot, or trucks. So you can't really get any good mining in that center. At the same time, there are some choke points in the middle, but there are vast sidelines on the top and bottom, made especially for flank attacks. So, as a whole, this map provides a lot of movement options, I would say, at the expense that you should really commit into these options, because well, if you see this map in terms of lines, like or probably lanes, like the 3-lane theory, if you are familiar with it, so you can't really switch lanes right away. For example, if you run your army on this side on top, you can only exit here in 3 points basically, and some of those points are bridges, so if those bridges get destroyed, then you can't even move the army here, or rather there. Which means that if you move a huge part of army, yeah, let's say it game-wise. So if you move a huge part of army here, and this bridge is destroyed like it is from the beginning, then you can't jump here from the bottom. You need to either run back or run forward, or run here. And all of that means that you will first need to cover a lot of ground by your army, and second, you'll need to get through the choke points. So running huge armies on the sidelines is not perfect. And a huge risk, I would say. At the same time, in the middle, there are also some choke points, like you can place an expansion here, but this way, this way, this way. They're all only 3 or 4 tiles each. Means that 2 players trimming the infantry blobs will probably be... What? Okay. Nothing. 2 players trimming infantry blobs will probably be completely stopped by a single infantry, by a single artillery piece, just wrecking everything, shooting on one direction. And this is, in my opinion, this is what really stops, or rather makes really closed trench war games around the choke points and inability to move around the map freely without obstacles. Anyway, let's see how this game fares. As we see Smithy and Barf on the left side and Gatekeeper and Yunano on the right side. So Barf and Gatekeeper both spawning as England in the middle. Means there are less opportunities for Tesla camping. The lone gem mine in the middle, but Still some by their allies. Whatever that means. This is actually interesting that Barf is taking Yunana's hospital and Yunana is taking Smithy's hospital on other sides to each other, and they both have taken oil derricks. Oh, right. One of interesting differences is that Yunana took the path of capturing stuff. Being Soviet. At the same time, Barf and his ranger capturing stuff on America's side. And we already see the fast MCV by Yunana as well. Expanding fast. At the same time, none of their opponents expanding, only Barf building an MCV just right now. And Gatekeeper deciding go in tech. So that's a somewhat a split strategy. Yeah, and Barf just seen an expansion. Which means I don't know what it means yet, but let's see what he thinks up. So we already see quite an unusual stuff by Gatekeeper, building 5 spies. Well, at least unusual for the 1v1s, but for 2v2s it might work in some way. At the same time, Smithy and Barf both managed to get this inner corner expansions. Means leaving their opponents from middle map control somewhat. And they both tried some push forward, which marginally failed. At the same time, Yunana is expanding on the bottom side, and probably he could be well gathering the whole bottom side for himself. And there is a sideline push by Smithy. Don't think that he'll be able to destroy this MCB, especially if Yunana is lucky with defense. I think he needs to pop up some defense right away. Still. Yeah, now Smithy sees it. But the army is already away, so he can't do much about this expansion. He can try to destroy the flame tower, and actually 2 medium tanks could have destroyed 1, but not 2. So Yunana moved most of his base to the top, no, most of his army to the top, And Gatekeeper is trying to run Mass Hind, but here is a problem. He needs resources because he has already dried up his patch. Running 6 ore trucks on a small 3-mine patch in the middle. And the game starts lagging horribly. Making it not normal, but something like small, or rather slow. And there's a beer cap. So, right. So there is a lone firing from arty shots going on. This small attack is going over. At the same time, this small push by the Barf can do some damage. And I don't think that this army going down will make it in time. At the same time, if Smithy attacks right now, that's what means that this army gets split between this one tile breach between bottom and center, and the bottom expansion going down. Right, so no heavy support, so one additional flame tower and this attack is over. And Smithy is wasting time here. I think he should have attacked like a minute ago, especially when Yunana is going low power. But still, the whole army of Yunana is elsewhere. So that push by Smithy should have done a lot of damage, but instead it just standing here, doing nothing. And there is a push by Yunana and Gatekeeper at the top. Wait, what's with my volume here? Coupled with low power from Gatekeeper's spies, there should be some more spies probably, because there were 5 of them. So Yunana is actually doing a very promising macro job here, and that's pumped up by his huge leading assets. At the same time, Gatekeeper running the tech route is probably lacking a bit. Maybe he will do some nice stuff running to tiers all the way to tier 3 if he has any money to do it. And that lonely artillery piece, that's pretty, because Shinana actually can't do much about it here in this force. And if only Yunnan knew about this, like running 5 tanks over the bridge and crushing all the force would have been golden. But still, there is absolutely no armor in that force, so I think that does it for Yunana destroying the force. At the same time, Barf is attacking all the way up the Gatekeeper's main, and there is also no defense here, only a small force by Yunana and some vetted infantry by the gatekeeper, but there is one artillery destroying most of it, and I don't see much defensive structures around. Well, still, as I managed to stop it before it did any damage. At the same time, there is a status quo on this bridge, which actually got repaired by Smithy. That was a nice move. Assets wise, we still see another leading, but he still needs to use his lead, like here, and probably he can get Barf's helipads and radar dome in this attack. Because there is no MCV, which means no additional defenses, only some spare rifles around, and that's it. He needs to destroy everything fast right now, until some forces come around. Radar dome got destroyed, and Barf's only on Heinz, and not building any artists. Oh, and this is a thing I missed, that they play double allies instead of allies and Soviet matchup. So Yunana is the only Soviet player. Yeah, and Hind Tech by Barf is getting destroyed as well. But not quite, which is unfortunate for the right side. Well, on this map, even though it's quite on the big side, Ukrainian power bombs can do a lot of damage because of the cliffs and chokes around, and as you can see, armies are standing a lot on different points of the map for some time, and on sides power bombs are just mostly instant, so it doesn't matter whether there are chokes or not. So what about the assets? Smithy managed to crawl his way all up to Yunnan, and now we see wait, is it? Yeah, it's Gatekeeper's heli fleet destroying some power, which actually does some damage for Barf because he has no. He has one. He has built one additional radar dome. And now both Barf and Smithy made all up to tier 3. And not Yunana, another Gatekeeper. Gatekeeper only now building a tech center. Which means that Smithy and Barf will soon have some nice tech advantage. I wonder if Barf will switch to longbows to negate the Gatekeeper's hind fleet. At the same time, we see another base push going on at the top, which is probably going to be stopped by the high fleet here. And if this MCV goes down, then the whole... yeah. The whole expansion goes down. Even though artilleries are no more and there are only 2 tanks. But this expansion is cut away from the rest of Yunana's and Gatekeeper's forces. So it just takes some time to destroy. Yunana can probably do some... what? Gatekeeper's Heinz just idle. So if we see any A guns right now, then that means four Heinz going down. Let's see. See? No? Yeah. 1. And get destroyed. And that's a huge misclick by Gatekeeper. So where was his army actually? He was probably destroying something here, but I don't see anything nearly valuable as those 4 Heinz. So Smitty managed to push Yunana out of this expansion. He had his top expansion as well. Still gathering some ore with 4 ore trucks combined, but not for long. And I think the assets lead by Smithy and Barf. So really prevailing, as you can see. The problem for the right side is that Gatekeepers... well, A, he has not enough eco, and B, he is floating, as the usual Gatekeeper does. So probably if GPS goes up, then in 4 minutes we'll see the end of this game. Because also Tanya, and absolutely nothing here to get her. Here she is. At the same time, Gatekeeper slowly pushes down on the right side, or rather trying to destroy the cut out expansion on the right. And Yak is missing Tanya as well. There is another one, but Barf is not risking. Barf is just moving away. And it looks like for Smithy at Barf it would actually be a nice strategy to wait on the GPS instead of pushing, just keeping tabs on their opponents, destroying and getting this expansion, blocking every attack on other fronts, because there are quite a lot. Gatekeeper has his tech center up as well, but he's almost minute and a half late to Smithy's. And Smithy's would be enough for Barf as well to see every opponent move. Well, I should say that this move right here was nicely done by Smithy, cutting this expansion, which was huge on eco. And even those pair bombs won't help much. They can help destroying the MCV, but still there are already 4 longbows, several medium tanks, and still a lot of defenses to destroy. So that will take some time. for Yunara to get through that. And while that is brewing, Smithy can safely move his MCV there and build up some defenses along this bridge, or even destroying the bridge whatsoever, because he doesn't really need to move on this side from the top. He can run his army across and then destroy it and safely expand on the top. There is a huge hind fleet by Barf, which can end up being destroyed by a lot of rocket soldiers here, if Yunana is careful. And I don't think he is, because this is a whittling down his eco by Barf. And now Yunana and Gatekeeper are suffering on money, because mostly they're strangled by Smithy and Barf, who took both these corner expansions, now these corners as well. And there is not a lot of eco apart from those on this map. We can see that Yunana is already at tier 3 as the other guys are, but another refinery goes down. And if you check, then Yunana is only, I think, on 2. And Gatekeeper is only at center refineries, and that's it. So this will take as long as a minute for Yunana and Gatekeeper realize that they have already lost. For Eskimo appearing in chat, this is the second game. The first one was already won by Smithy and Barf on the tournament island, or rather successfully defended by Smithy and Barf, because Gatekeeper ran a suicidal MCV early push, coupled with Yunana's forces. And as you can see, Smithy already has his GPS up, or should have. Yeah, he probably, as it was launching yet, or he had his radar dome disabled. Still, these games requires to be won by Smithy and Barf. Even though there is an atom bomb now. Don't think that there is any chance for Yunana and Gatekeeper to get back into the game. I mean, even if this push is destroyed, and it probably is not, because there is a backwards Tanya going on. And probably Nana missed it whatsoever, but even if not, then Tannen just destroys the MCV and the whole defense. No? Yeah, that was effective, but probably that was more like a fun move than an effective move because there is a Hind fleet. And moreover, Nana and Gatekeeper just don't have the assets to fight this game. Not assets, neither assets nor money. Even if they run into this juicy gem mine in the middle, this won't make any difference. And we have GPS by the Gatekeeper. And if Gatekeeper, yeah, Gatekeeper has his radar dome disabled, so he doesn't even know about what's going on with his GPS around. But even if he powers it up, then he will immediately go low power. Tani is still in backyards of Yunana with no base. There is a combined base push again by Barf and Smithy, who make a formidable force together, even stronger than they are separately. And there is a common thing by Smithy, a huge tank force push from the top. Most of it could be destroyed by some rockets, but even a single Hind win will put an end to this. And still I am not yet convinced by why Gatekeeper and Yunana is still playing. Oh, they have hopes, but I don't think they have means to win this game. Even this fun micro by Yunana on mix won't throw the game other way. Gatekeeper has his MCV moved to the bottom. It's his second MCV, but the fight for the bottom expansion looks to be already over. Because there's just not enough force for Yunana or Gatekeeper to defend it. Which leaves it only on this mine here. There are 6 here. Not 6, but 3 here, 3 here, which makes 6. Here is Smithy not gathering, but Smithy is already 13k in cash, so he can do what he wants. He can safely do mass tank German chronospheres anywhere, building longbows, light tanks, not giving any fucks about rocket soldiers. No, sorry Gatekeeper, even by score you have lost. Interestingly enough, it's Smitty who is playing Germany, but wait, Smitty and Bar both has Chronosphere, and I thought that it was Gatekeeper's Chronosphere, but it actually was a defensive Chronosphere by Barf or Smitty running lone tanks into the army just to whittle it down. Yeah, there is a lone Mammoth tank and there is another Mammoth tank. Just Iron Curtained Mammoth tank on the one tile bridge that can hold for 20 plus seconds. Some longbow action going on by Gatekeeper. He could have dealt some damage to tech center, but there are two AA guns, which makes it impossible. And this is what I was talking about when I was talking about chokes on this map. And actually you can probably feel that the game is quite laggy right now. And this stuff is one of the reasons why it is so. Smitty got themselves yet another Mammoth tank. And there is a barf move by Smitty, because as I have already said, that he can do whatever he wants with that money, with that assets. He's absolutely leading in eco, having the whole lot of expansions on the top as well as bottom. Having a lot of army as well, which for allied forces just extensively scales up, and not technically, because tech-wise there are not a lot of useful units that can build up a core of your army, like for Soviets, like Shokis or Mammoth tanks. Instead, for allies you just build more medium tanks, more rockets, more infantry, more everything. Even the lone brave artillery by Gatekeeper doesn't help destroying the whole army here. So, I suppose the game will end up by an atom bomb. and we will see some fun uh, paradrops, or rather parabombs, which will destroy a lot of stuff, but still won't change the whole picture. And even defensive nuke by Gatekeeper. Yeah. Yeah, this GG. The GG that should have been called 10 minutes ago. And Barf and Smitty wins 2-0 against Yunnan and Gatekeeper.
Battle control terminated.
I don't actually remember what the teams are, rather what groups are. I only know that Happy, Team Eskimo, and Lori and Kazu and Zolch are all in Group 2, whereas Smitty, Barf, Anju, Kans, Gatekeeper, Yunano, and some others are in Group 1. So I'll just ask around if there are any other matches as well. Oh wait, there is what? Ah, right. So it's Appetite against Barf and Smithy. Somewhere in the future. I hope it's soon, but I'm not sure. Smithy, Barf. Yeah, so about that game of Barf and Smithy against Pepe and Appetite. Guys say it's soon, but no one yet knows how soon, which makes it like 5 minutes soon, 1 hour soon, 1 day soon. And hello, raiding party by Emirate. Welcome on this stream. I hope there will be some additional games going on. I just don't know which, but probably some. Oh wait, I think I've missed one already. Meeting Barf. Wait, was it closed? Here it is. But I think it's just a general game going on. So I suppose there will be some training at least by Smithy and Barf. Probably, maybe, likely. So maybe we'll see one more match, and if there is no match in say 15 minutes, then probably I'll end my stream and do some other things I need to do instead of sitting in lobby and chatting with people. Well, hopefully we'll catch Cannon's game against Submarine, at least. Hopefully, but not likely, I think, because Submarine... Submarine is not joining in. I hope Submarine is not playing on some other server. Just for giggles. Oh, the Resorb against Five Faces. Again, the game I have missed. I hope it's the first one, not the second one. So, some nice games going on around, but we are missing on a lot of them. Yeah, Mechanic was... I was streaming an OpenRA team tournament game, but I think that's already over. Eskimo, you're saying later, but how later? Like, if 10 minutes later, then I can wait, but if that's an hour later, then I'll probably won't. Yeah, I think this will be the end of this stream. Unfortunately, because I don't want to wait any more time on games happening, and games are not happening around in any fashion, nor the Ruggle one, neither... Oh, I can wait 5 minutes, maybe catching the second game by Orb against 5 aces, if that happens. But I have low expectations on that. Yeah, and as Eskimo saying in chat that the game will be in an hour or two, then it's probably a bit too late. Fortunately, maybe there is some So Scared firing up his stream, or maybe Lundis, or someone else, but probably not me, as I'm a bit too tired today, and especially tired waiting on those darn games to happen. Yeah, I think I'll call it. So, thank you for watching. At least we've got one interesting 2v2 tournament match around. Hopefully we will get some more, because there are 6 teams in each of 2 groups, meaning there are quite a lot of promising 2v2 matches as well. And I still think that competitive 2v2 will bring a lot positives, a lot of positives for OpenRA balance as well, because only balancing it against 1v1s is slightly one-sided, and using 2v2s for that will be much more beneficial, because that will cover 1v1s and cover team games as well, which 1v1s don't cover, obviously. So yeah, stay tuned around Discord. Join the Discord, of course, the general OpenRA Discord, and check any possible streams in the future which are advertised on dedicated channels there. You can find a link on Discord, I think on my stream, below the stream, in the frames, text frames section. So, this is it, and see you somewhere in the future, hopefully on some future streams. Probably returning to my mapping streams as well sometime in the future, when I have some maps to stream to. Anyway, this is it. Oh wait, and I've missed another game for 5 aces against Orb, so yeah. This is it for the stream. Thank you guys for watching, and that's it. I'm switching off now.